They rush through life like time is chasing them, always 5 minutes late, always saying I'm on my way when they haven't even left yet. You've seen them. Maybe you are them. The friend who arrives after the movie starts, the co-worker who joins the meeting just as everyone's settling down, the one who swears they'll be on time next time, and means it, but still isn't. We laugh, we roll our eyes, we call them careless, but what if being late isn't just about bad habits or broken clocks? What if there's a deeper story beneath the ticking of time, a quiet war between pressure and peace, perfection and procrastination? For some people, lateness is more than disorganization. It's a psychological defense, a hidden language that says, I move through the world differently. They don't see time as an enemy. They see it as something flexible, fluid, something that bends to their rhythm instead of the world's demand. To them, time isn't rigid. It's emotional. It expands when they're inspired, shrinks when they're anxious, and disappears completely when they're lost in thought. They're not lazy. They're immersed. The clock doesn't define their reality. Their emotions do. But behind this rhythm hides something fragile, a mix of anxiety, perfectionism, and quiet rebellion. Some who are always late aren't careless. They're afraid of being too early, of waiting, of facing expectations before they're ready. For them, every event feels like a stage, and arriving late is like sneaking in after the curtain has already risen, hoping no one notices their nervous heart. Lateness becomes a way to delay pressure, to push back against the constant demand to perform, to be polished, composed, and on time for everything life throws at them. It's not defiance, and it's survival, a subtle protest against a world that never stops running. Others, though, are dreamers, lost in their own universe of thoughts. Time slips away while they plan, create, or overthink. They look at the clock, swear they'll leave in 5 minutes, then blink, and 20 have passed. Their mind is a garden where ideas grow wild, and while the world runs on schedules, they live on inspiration. For them, lateness isn't neglect, it's absorption. They care deeply, but their heart moves slower than the hands of a clock. And then there's the quiet guilt, the one that hits the moment they arrive late again. The half smile, the quick apology, the familiar words, sorry, I lost track of time. They mean it every time, and yet deep down, they already know they'll probably do it again, because the truth is, lateness isn't about the event. It's about what's going on inside before it. A battle between intention and inertia, between wanting to do everything and never quite managing to. Some psychologists call it time optimism. It's the belief that you can fit more into a moment than reality allows. It's the quiet confidence that you can get ready in 10 minutes, even though it always takes 20. It's not arrogance, it's hope. Hope that life will move just a little slower for you today. But hope has a cost, because being late often means letting someone down. And with that comes shame. So every promise to be on time next time isn't a lie. It's a wish, a small vow to the people they love and to themselves, that maybe tomorrow they'll finally sync with the world's rhythm. But deep down, they know it's not just about time. It's about balance, perfection, and fear. The fear of rushing into life before you're ready, and the fear of being left behind if you don't. Because sometimes, people who are always late aren't trying to disrespect time. They're just trying to make peace with it. There's something quietly fascinating about people who are always late. They exist in a strange relationship with time, a push and pull, a dance that never quite finds its rhythm. To them, the clock is not a command, it's a suggestion. And in that small rebellion lies a deeper truth about how they experience life itself. 1. Time as emotion, not numbers for people who are always late. Time doesn't tick, it feels. It stretches when they're lost in thought, and it collapses when they're under pressure. They live not by minutes, but by moments. When they're with someone they care about, time dissolves. When they're anxious, it tightens. And when they're alone, it flows gently like a river without direction. Psychologists call this temporal myopia, a mind so focused on the present emotion that it loses grip on the future one. They don't mean to be late. They simply get emotionally trapped in what's happening right now. It's not irresponsibility. It's absorption. They don't measure time. They feel it. 2. The inner conflict. fear, guilt, and control inside the person who's always late. There's often a quiet storm. They know the pattern. They know the guilt that follows. Yet every time it happens again, and after the apology comes the self-blame. Why can't I just get it right? For some, lateness is tied to perfectionism. They don't leave the house until everything feels right. They adjust, check, fix, overthink, and time slips away in the process. They don't want to show up late, but they also don't want to show up unprepared. It's not laziness. It's anxiety dressed as precision. Others use lateness as a subtle form of control. They feel that their time is constantly demanded by others, so arriving late becomes a way to reclaim it. It's the unconscious mind whispering, "I'll move when I'm ready," a gentle protest against the feeling of being rushed, of living on everyone else's clock but their own. And then there are those who are simply overwhelmed. Their minds are juggling 1,000 thoughts, and time becomes another ball that falls from their hands. They want to be early. They just can't catch up with their thoughts fast enough. 3. The emotional cost, but being late comes with an invisible price. Each time it happens, they lose a bit of self-trust. Each apology feels heavier than the last, and while others may see it as disrespect, inside they're battling shame. The moment they walk in late, their heart beats faster. Not from arrogance, but from regret. They replay excuses in their head, but deep down they know it's not about excuses at all. It's about how their mind relates to pressure. Some people speed up when the clock runs out, others freeze. And those who freeze, they often live with constant guilt. They promise to change, they set alarms, they try to plan better. But no matter what they do, something keeps pulling them back into delay. It's like an emotional loop and hope. Effort, failure, guilt, repeat. 4. The hidden sensitivity to time. Interestingly, many people who are chronically late are also deeply sensitive individuals. They don't handle transitions well. Shifting from one task to another feels emotionally heavy. They need closure, mental calm before they can move on. So when it's time to leave, they hesitate. They want to finish the thought, complete the feeling, tie up loose ends before walking away. The world says just go, but their mind says wait, not yet. It's a sensitivity that looks like carelessness, but it's actually rooted in emotional depth. 5. The conflict between dream and reality. Lateness also reflects a deeper struggle between how we want life to be and how it really is. The person who's always late is often a dreamer. They imagine smoother mornings, shorter commutes, easier starts. In their mind, time always works out until it doesn't. They live half in reality, half in imagination, and when imagination wins, the world calls them irresponsible. But really, they're just chasing the version of life where everything happens exactly when it feels right. 6. The need for forgiveness. What they rarely ask for but desperately need is forgiveness. From others, yes, but most of all from themselves, because beneath the surface of lateness lies a good heart, someone who means well, who genuinely wants to do better, who's tired of disappointing others and themselves. They don't need more judgment, they need understanding, because lateness isn't just about time, it's about emotion, control and identity, and you can't fix that with a clock. You fix it with patience. People who are always late aren't careless. They're caught between emotion and time. Every delay tells a quiet story that most never hear. Sometimes it's perfectionism. They don't want to leave until everything feels just right. Sometimes it's overthinking. 1,000 tiny thoughts pull them in every direction. And sometimes it's avoidance. The fear of what waits for them once they arrive. Psychologists call this temporal dissonance, when your emotions and your schedule move at different speeds. Your mind says, go, but your heart whispers, wait. For some, lateness is a shield. It's a small rebellion against the pressure of life, a way to say, I'll move when I'm ready. But in that comfort, time quietly slips away, and guilt takes its place. Yet behind every late arrival, there's often depth. A sensitivity to the moment, a tendency to feel life too deeply to rush through it. They don't disrespect your time, they just get lost in their own. Their world isn't ruled by clocks, but by feelings, and though the world may see them as irresponsible, they're often the ones who notice the raindrops, the silence between songs, the beauty most of us walk past. So next time you meet someone who's always late, don't just see disorganization, see a soul trying to synchronize emotion with existence.